जय शंख गदाधर नीलकलेवर पीतपटाम्बर देहि पदं जय चंदन चर्चित कुंडलमंडित चंदन चर्चित कुंडलमंडित कौस्तुभ शोभित देहि पदं जय शंख गदाधर नीलकलेवर पीतपटाम्बर देहि पदं जय पंकजलोचन मारविमोहन पापविखण्डन देहि पदं जय वेणुनिनादक रासविहारक बंकिम सुंदर देहि पदं जय शंख गदाधर नीलकलेवर पीतपटां देहि पदं जय धीर धुरंधर अद्भुत सुंदर दैवत सेवित देहि पदं जय विश्वविमोहन मानस मोहन संसिति कारण देहि पदं जय शंख गदाधर नीलकलेवर पीतपटाम्बर देहि पदं जय भक्त जनाश्रय नित्य सुखालय अंतिम बांधव देहि पदं जय दुर्जन शासन केलिपरायण कालिय मर्दन देहि पदं जय शंख गदाधर नीलकलेवर पीतपटाम्बर देहि पदं जय नित्य निरामय दीन दयामय नित्य निरामय दीन दया चिन्मय माधव देहि पदं जय चिन्मय जय पामर पावन धर्मपरायण पामर पावन दानवसूदन देहि पदं दानवसूदन देहि पदं जय शंख गदाधर नीलकलेवर पीतपटाम्बर देहि पदं जय वेद विदाम्बर गोपवधू प्रिय वेद विदा वृंदावन धन देहि पदं जय जय सत्य सनातन दुर्गति भंजन सत्य सना सज्जन रंजन देहि पदं सज्जन रंजन देहि पदं जय शंख गदाधर नीलकलेवर पीतपटाम्बर देहि पदं जय सेवक वत्सल करुणा सागर सेवक वांछित पूरक देहि पदं जय वांछित जय पूत धरातल देव परात्पर पूत धरातल सत्वगुणाकर देहि पदं जय सत्वगुणाकर देहि पदं जय शंख गदाधर नीलकलेवर पीतपटाम्बर देहि पदं जय गोकुलभूषण कंसनिषूदन सात्वत जीवन देहि पदं जय सात्वत जीवन जय योगपरायण संस्कृतिवारण योगपरायण ब्रह्मनिरञ्जन देहि पदं जय ब्रह्मनिरञ्जन देहि पदं जय गङ्खगदाधर नीलकलेवर पीतपटाम्बर देहि पदं जय चन्दन चर्चित कुण्डलमण्डित चन्दन चर्चित कुण्डलमण्डित कौस्तुभशोभित देहि पदं जय शङ्ख गदाधर नीलकलेवर पीतपटाम्बर देहि पदं पीतपटाम्बर देहि पदं पीतपटाम्बर देहि पदम्। बोलिए राधावर कृष्णचंद्र भगवान की जय, सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय। सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्। ॐ श्री चिन्मय सद्गुरवे नमः। 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 We will chant from 42nd verse. अथवा योगिनामेव कुले भवति धीमताम् एतद्विदुर्लभतरं लोके जन्म यदीदृशं तत्र तं बुद्धिसंयोगं लभते पौर्वदेहिकं यतते च ततो भूयः संसिद्धौ कुरु नन्दन पूर्वाभ्यासेन तेनैव ह्रियते ह्यवशोऽपि सः जिज्ञासुरपि योगस्य शब्दब्रह्माति वर्तते प्रयत्नाद्यतमानस्तु योगी संशुद्धकिल्बिषः अनेकजन्म संसिद्धः ततो याति परां गतिम्। Arjuna has asked one question to Bhagavan Krishna. What happens to a yoga bhrashta? Bhagavan in his answer said, yoga bhrashtas are of two types. Yoga bhrashta means one who has gained knowledge but strayed away from that knowledge. Before he could get abidance, body dropped, journey of the physical body came to an end. That is why he was unable to get abidance. But he has let go of all the bhogas, all the pleasures, those karmas which would have taken him to higher worlds. He has left all of that for the sake of knowledge. What happens to such a person is Arjuna's question. He won't get result of karma also because he has left it, and he did not get result of jnanam because self-abidance was not gained. What happens to him? Bhagavan said there are two types of yoga bhrashta. One whose vairagya is less because of some previous vasana. They strayed away from this path, but with the very fact that they have strived to live a spiritual life and gain knowledge, done shravanam, that itself is sufficient to take them to higher worlds. So they go to higher worlds, stay there for a long time, then they are born in a family of pious people who are very well-to-do. Then the second category is those who have greater vairagya, yoga bhrashta, who has greater vairagya. That person doesn't have to go through any higher worlds. After dropping this body, straight away he is born in a family of very pious people, but not so much well-to-do family. And all his adhyatma samskaras, whatever previous spiritual impressions are there, all of them are brought alive in that life. And helplessly he is drawn towards spiritual pursuit. One commentator, he says, Bhagavan Krishna is telling Arjuna, look at your own example. You are here in the middle of battlefield and you are asking me questions about Vedanta. How to meditate, who is God. He says that is not random. This is all your previous samskaras which are lighting up right now, coming alive right now. So that is how this yoga bhrashta's journey continues. Bhagavan said, Purvabhyasena tenaiva hriyate hyavashopisah. Because of his previous abhyasa, he is helplessly drawn towards spiritual pursuits. Hriyate means helplessly drawn. And another important line was, Jijñāsurapi yogasya shabda brahmati vartate. Such a person who has already done his journey in previous life, he is exempted from the do's and don'ts of the ritualistic portion of Vedas. Shabda Brahma here means the Karma Kanda portion of Vedas. He is not bound by any do's and don'ts of the Karma Kanda portion. In the questions that many of you turned in last time, there were many questions on the example that I shared, and when we look at it, we'll reflect more about it. But let's continue. The next verse, Bhagavan said, Prayatnad yatamanastu. In the previous life, before he became yoga bhrashta, he was not putting forth sufficient effort. Now he is very hardworking for his spiritual growth. Whatever resolves he takes, he makes sure that he fulfills it. Japa, dhyanam. No day should go by without having our spiritual routine. This point we had seen in 4th chapter also. Samaya lopa is okay, kala lopa is okay, kriya lopa is not okay. Kala lopa means it's ideal to do it at the same time every day. But some days might be such we are unable to do it at that time. But even if we are unable to do it at that time, we should find some other time when we should do it. And we should not take so many rules upon ourselves that to complete it, it takes 3 hours. Whatever is doable, that one should be taken up with niyama. We should remember that statement, niyam wahi jo nibha sake. Niyam is that which we can fulfill, not an ideal one. Ideal one, so many things you might want. But what I can do every day, that rain or shine, I will not let go of this. That is the prayatna. Remember, the goal is not in that sadhana itself. Sadhana is the means, purity of mind is the goal. Sometimes what happens, whenever we get into any routine, if it is working for us, we will get attached to that routine also. Spiritual progress is not measured by the outer duration of sadhana which I do. Outer duration of sadhana is to bring about some inner change. So that is the prayatna he is putting forth. See, in 12th chapter also Bhagavan says, Yatatmavan. Who is my devotee? My devotee is somebody who is constantly working upon himself. Whatever he wants to bring in himself, in that he is putting forth lot of effort. Yogi samshuddha kilbishaha. Yogi means one who has gained clear knowledge about the truth. No doubts, no erroneous notions. The one who has this knowledge, that person is called as yogi. Samshuddha kilbishaha means without any vigna, without any obstacle, he can effortlessly turn his mind within. Whatever we practice, whatever we master, one of the sign of that mastery is, it looks very effortless. You know, in cricket, the early overs, the ball swings. You know, when you bowl, the ball swings. And if it's a good batsman, when he plays, it looks very effortless. And when the tail enders, they come to bat, even simple balls they bat, it looks very difficult. It depends on the person who is doing it. So Samshuddha Kilbishaha means effortlessly he can turn his mind within, doesn't have to struggle with his own mind. That is the stage he has reached. Aneka Janma Samsiddha. Aneka Janma means, Bhagavan says, don't expect quick results. To reach here, it can take several lives. But we had seen several lives meaning what? 3. We should not say lot of lives are remaining. More than 2 is called as Bahu. Bahuvachanam you can use for more than 2. So somebody has asked a question, did you mean minimum 3 lives or maximum 3 lives? From a sadhaka's point, we should say maximum 3 lives. Whenever a person starts sincerely seeking God, becomes serious about God realization, becomes serious about self-abidance, Bhagavan says the journey is not too far for him. The goal is not too far for him. It's only a matter of how badly he wants it. That is the meaning of Aneka Janma Samsiddha. Tato Yati Param Gatim. That person attains the supreme-most goal of life, which is freedom from finitude. Param Gatim means Jivatva Bhanga happens for him. His finitude is removed. He understands his own nature as the blissful self. Now Bhagavan is concluding this topic now. Next 2 verses. Tapasvibhyodhiko yogi. Tapasvibhyodhiko yogi. Jnanibhyopi matodhikah. Jnanibhyopi matodhikah. Karmibhyaschadhiko yogi. Karmibhyaschadhiko yogi. Tasmad yogi bhavarjuna. Tasmad yogi bhavarjuna. Tapasvibhyodhiko yogi. Bhagavan points out 3 things that if a person can bring in life, that person can go far ahead in whatever field he chooses. 3 things that will make a person walk very far in life, in whatever field. What are those three things? First one, he says tapas. Tapasvibhya means those who have the power to forbear inconvenience. Those who have the power to keep their mind equanimous whenever some inconvenience comes. And many a times they knowingly take on inconvenience. For example, fasting. It's not very convenient to the body. But knowingly taking on that inconvenience with a higher goal in mind, disciplining the mind, that is called as tapasya. So Bhagavan says, that is something which will take us further in any field. Whoever has gone further, either it is music or it is science, if you analyze their life, if you look at their life, we will find some kind of tapasya there which has taken them forward. We might not see it from the outside. We might just see the fame part of it, glamour part of it. But if we dig deeper in their life, even if it's a politician, we will find there is a lot of tapasya hidden in their journey. Recently one family came, the mother was saying, girl is a very voracious reader, reads a lot of books. He said, do you have any recommendations? Which books you should read? Now see, other novels and whatever they read, it is good if they read. But you cannot recommend it. Your child should read this book. Harry Potter, for example, you cannot say every child should read Harry Potter. If they are reading it, it's okay. Then I was thinking, what is that book which is worthy of recommending it to a child to read? One thought came to my mind, that is biography of people. Those who have gone further in their life and done some tapasya. Either it is some scientist or somebody in the day-to-day world only. If you look at their biography, if you look at their life journey, we will find what is hidden there is some kind of tapasya. That tapasya becomes an inspiration to emulate also, but also to keep them as our role models. Second one is, of course, our Amar Chitra Kathas. Lot of our culture will come to them through stories. That is this tapasvi. Whoever has gone further, in Ramcharitmanas Goswamiji says, Tapa Adhara, Yaha Srushti Bhavani. The substratum, what keeps this Srushti together is tapasya. Whatever mind likes to do, not allowing that mind to do that. Gurudev has one quote, right? Not doing what you feel like doing is freedom. That is the meaning of tapasya actually. Whatever this mind likes to do is what its likes and dislikes are. To hold this mind back is called as tapasya. That is the first indicator. Second one Bhagavan says is jnanibhya. Jnanibhya means whenever a person gains knowledge, he goes much further than anybody else. And this knowledge could be any knowledge. Shankaracharya translates this as Shastra Pandityam. It could be any Shastra, any branch of knowledge. Whoever gains it well, that person goes further in life. One good example for this, if you look at the military, there are many soldiers, right? And there is one chief of that soldier. You see those soldiers, they will be running so much, carrying all those arms and ammunitions and so on. Have you seen what that commander carries? A very thin baton. Very thin baton. That is all he has in his hand. But what is his strength? His strength is jnanam. The strategy part of it is in his hand. This is true in any field. Whenever knowledge comes, it puts that person ahead in that journey. So first thing what he needs is tapasya. Second thing what he needs is clear knowledge in that particular field, which will take him further in life. And third one, Bhagavan says, karmibhyah. Karmibhyah means he is good in mobilizing resources. He is good in mobilizing resources. That person is called as karmi. In his life, also he is able to do the same thing. It is not important how many things I know, but what is important is how many am I able to implement. So one who is able to implement his own convictions, that person is called as karmi. So three things Bhagavan pointed out. One is tapasvi, second is jnanam, third one is karma. Three things if a person has, that person's journey is gone a long way in whatever path he has chosen. Now Bhagavan twists it. Compared to all of them, yogi is the best. Tapasvibhyo diko yogi, jnanibhyah api matah adhikah. Compared to tapasvi, compared to jnani, compared to karmi. Karmibhyascha api. Yogi is the best. Tasmad yogi bhavarjuna. Therefore, O Arjuna, become a yogi. In your transaction life, hold on to all these three. Tapah also we need, jnanam also we need, karma also we need. But as far as moksha is concerned, the goal is to become a yogi. Why does he say this? Tapa, jnanam and karma don't remove ahankara. While I am doing tapasya, the notion is I am doing tapasya. While I am gaining knowledge, what is the notion? I am the one gaining knowledge. While doing karma, the premise of karma is I am karta. Whereas a yogi is able to see all these three happening in Shuddha Chaitanya, which is the self. Tapasya, jnanam, karma, it is happening in the realm of Maya. And he says, I am the substratum of that Maya, which is the pure consciousness. This also we had seen. Tapasya will happen at body, mind, intellect level. Jnanam will happen at mind and intellect level. Knowledge is gained by mind and intellect. Tapasya is at physical body level. It is also at mind level, also at intellect level. And karma happens through organs of actions. So you can say PFT is the one who is involved in all the actions. Now what is Jnani's understanding? I am not body, I am not mind, I am not intellect, I am not PFT also. I am not the perceiver, feeler, thinker. I am that blissful self which is the substratum of all actions. The one who understands this, Bhagavan says, is the greatest yogi. That is this 46th verse. Last verse is concluding this. Yoginam api sarvesham madgatenantaratmana Shraddhavan bhajate yo mam Same yuktatamo matah Yoginam api sarvesham madgatenantaratmana Shraddhavan bhajate yo mam Same yuktatamo matah. When we say somebody is meditating, there are different altars of meditation. Somebody can meditate upon sun, somebody can meditate upon flame, somebody can meditate upon Nabhi chakra, all the Shat chakras which are there, they can meditate upon that. So many altars of meditation are there. And every meditator can be called as yogi secondarily. When we say the word yogi, it is not referring to only Advaita Vedanta meditator. It can refer to all of these people. According to their school of thought, they are called as yogi. So Bhagavan says, yoginam api sarvesham. Amongst all these different types of meditators, madgatena antaratmana, the one who has made consciousness as the goal, who is meditating upon me, the pure consciousness. Madgatena antaratmana means he has put his mind in consciousness. He has understood the 6th chapter of Bhagavad Geeta, how to meditate. Madgatena antaratmana, shraddhavan bhajate yomam. And in his heart he has lot of faith that this is the goal I have to set, and even if I am not perfect right now, still this is the right path to take. I don't have to change my type of meditation if mind is not settling down. I just have to do it more sincerely. That is the Shraddha part. Having lot of faith in the altar of meditation, in the practice of meditation. Shraddhavan bhajate yomam same yukta tamo matah. Amongst all the meditators, I consider that meditator who is meditating on the self as the best meditator, or one who has understood the goal clearly. Yukta tamaha means one who has understood the goal very clearly. The object of meditation in Vedanta is consciousness. Not even silence, not even breath, not anything else. Scanning the body. That is the preparation part of meditation. What I have to meditate upon is Shuddha Chaitanya. Madgatena antaratmana. The one who meditates upon me, the pure consciousness, Bhagavan says he has understood me very well. Om Tatsaditi Srimad Bhagavad Geetasu Upanishatsu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre Shri Krishna Arjuna Samvade Atma Sanyama Yogo Nama Shashtodhyayah. So we'll look at the questions. Next class, we'll start with 7th chapter. We still get around 4 sessions. So we'll do good. We can cover a lot of ground in those 4 sessions. And I'll recap 6th chapter also. What are the main ideas? The 4 pillars. Okay. This one, if you give me ahead of time, I can categorize it, club similar questions, and then we can reflect. So whatever you have submitted last time, I've made it into few categories. 4 questions were on the CMO example. Those who didn't come for the last session, this was an example I had shared for Shabda Brahmati Vartate. Taponji Maharaj had one devotee who was living very close by to Uttarkashi. And he was the chief medical officer, CMO, in the local hospital. And at that time he got an offer to go abroad somewhere. And he was very devoted to Taponji Maharaj. Went to him and asked, this offer has come, what should I do? So Taponji Maharaj first asks him, have you already made up your mind, or are you seeking guidance on what to do? Are you seeking endorsement, or are you seeking guidance? He was a sadhaka. He says, Maharaj, I am seeking guidance. Whatever you say, I will do. So he says, 50 plus years of life have already gone. Now don't let go of the remaining part. Whatever you had to do, you have already done. The remaining part, invest it wholeheartedly in spiritual pursuit. And he did it also. Wrapped up everything. In India, one good thing is there is a retirement age. Whether you like it or not, 60 years they say Hari Om. And it's a golden era of a person's spiritual phase, because body is healthy. He has already lived a good Grahastha Ashrama life. He has the time to do what he wants and the interest inside. We need both things, right? There should be interest inside, conducive situation outside. Grahastha Ashrama, interest is there, time is not there. Vanaprastha Ashrama, time might be there, interest also should be there. That is what was the example. So there are many questions on this. How would a sincere seeker manage their transactional responsibilities? In the example of the CMO, who started attending all yajnas and focused on Atma and spirituality completely, where does his dharma to continue to practice medicine fit? One thing we should remember, Bhagavad Prapti is the greatest dharma of human birth. Abiding in this self supersedes all dharma, whatever has been enjoined. Who has enjoined dharma upon us? Shastra. Whichever ashrama we enter, who tells us what are the do's and don'ts of that ashrama? Vedas will tell us. Bhagavad Geeta will tell us. Now, who will tell us what is who has told us what is the supreme most dharma? Same Vedas. So I cannot say I will believe Vedas in part, and in part I will not believe. We will see this in Kathopanishad. Yamacharya says, Sarve Vedaha Yat Padamamananti. The Karma Kanda portion of Vedas, Upasana portion of Vedas, and Vedanta portion of Vedas, they are all telling us about the same self-abidance. Karma Kanda is not to go to Swarga, Upasana is not to go somewhere else, and Vedanta is to attain self-abidance. He says all three are pointing to the same goal. That is one way to look at it. So when we look at dharma, the supreme most dharma is self-abidance. Keeping that as the goal, we should look at everything else. But there is another mellower way to look at it. Whatever I consider as my goal right now, this thought should also be there that this worldly goal that I have, Bhagwan, one day I have to grow out of it. There is no harm in having worldly goal, but the idea should not be, I will start here and end here. That is the beauty of fulfilling worldly goals with the support of God. If we take His support to fulfill worldly goals, He will fulfill it in such a way that He will bring us out of it, He will make us mature from it. So that is the dharmic perspective. We can see God in work, is it not? The CMO could have pursued the onward journey as well and said work is worship. It depends upon how much adhyatmic samskara is ripened in that person. That's why I said in the last session, Taponji Maharaj did not say this to everybody. He was a sadhaka. He knew that he needs the next step now. He has lived a good life. He is ready to go to the next step. And whoever is ready, for that person, what did Bhagavan Krishna say in 6th chapter? Aru rukshor muner yogam karma karanam uchyate. Yoga rudhyasya tasya eva shamah karanam uchyate. If a person's mind has become ripened, he is already living an ethical life, devoted life. To gain self-abidance, what he needs is exclusive time for that pursuit. He needs time for Shravanam, for Mananam, for Nididhyasanam, for all other sadhanas. And Vanaprastha Ashrama is exclusive meant for that. I had heard a nice proportion of how much time we should spend with God. One person, he said, whatever is our age, that much % time we should spend with Bhagavan. At 50, spend 50%. At 70, spend 70%. Now at 70, if I say, there is some dharmic thing which is pulling me, scriptures themselves will say there is no dharma greater than Bhagavad Prapti. So work is worship is a way so that we can worship God wholeheartedly. Kartavya and Maya they sometimes look very alike. Where we will get caught in Maya and which one is Kartavya. We have to be very, very alert. Many things we take on not because it's our Kartavya, but because it is some Vasana which is pushing us there. Chatadama Sila Birati Bahu Karma. Navada Bhakti, this sixth form of Bhakti is, Goswamiji says, whenever we start loving God more, our desire to get caught up with several things of the world goes down. Chatadama Sila Birati Bahu Karma. What is he doing? Nirata Nirantara Sajjana Dharma. Constantly working upon his own mind, constantly trying to attain God wholeheartedly. Can someone in Grahastha Ashrama go into sannyasa? Do the Shastras allow this? What happens to all the duties, responsibilities unfulfilled? Will he or she not accumulate bad karma? If you noticed in the last class when we spoke about this, which were the two ashramas I pointed out? You can go from brahmacharya to sannyasa or vanaprastha to sannyasa. I don't know if you noticed it, but that is what I had said. Grahastha ashrama, whoever wants to directly go to sannyasa, they will have to fulfill our duties first. Because that is what is the promise which is done while they enter Grahastha ashrama. There is one Pauranic story of this king whose name was Indradyumna. He was a very popular king, very famous king, did all his duties. But before his duties could be fully handed over, he left abruptly, went to the forest, started doing tapasya there. Agastya Rishi was passing by, he looks at him and he says, "This is not the right thing to do. Once you have taken up something, take it till the end. You cannot leave it halfway. We should take it all the way to the end." Then he curses him to become an elephant. Agastya Rishi curses him to become an elephant, and that elephant is Gajendra. So Gajendra's story, the background is this. He was Indradyumna before, but prematurely he quit his duties, and that is the reason why he ended up becoming Gajendra. But because he was a sadhaka, his adhyatma samskaras were very ripened. That's why in that elephant body also he does stuti of Bhagavan. So that is one perspective. That Grahastha ashrama, once we enter, the mindset should be, how can I very safely go to vanaprastha? This is also a very fine path. It is important to fulfill duties, but also grow out of them. That is this one. Now there is another, see, whenever we do vichara, right? Vichara should be unbiased. Don't get stuck to any opinion. Look at all the examples, thoroughly analyze it. I'll give you another example. Lord Buddha. Lord Buddha, when he was Siddhartha, he was in Grahastha ashrama. But his calling was so powerful that he went directly to sannyasa. So there are some Karaka Purushas. There are some very highly evolved souls who are supposed to benefit this society in a very unique way. Somebody like Goswami Tulsidas ji. So that example is also there. But in general, for a sadhaka, the advice is the previous one. Okay. It is something like this, If an aircraft is flying, Airbus 380, 40,000 feet high, 580 miles per hour, you cannot land it suddenly. You say, I want to land this, stop it right now. You can't do it. Slowly you have to turn off the engines, drop the elevation down, then hit the runway. Still it won't stop. Run on the runway for some time, then slowly it will stop. So that is the transition from Grahastha-ashrama to Vanaprastha. Suddenly we cannot drop everything and say, I want to focus on spirituality wholeheartedly. That is impractical, doesn't happen that way. So that slowing down thing is slowing down on those karmas which are not conducive to our spiritual growth. Those karmas I can wholeheartedly drop. Okay. So this question is mainly about pravrutti and nivrutti. So it's an art to go from pravrutti to nivrutti. Pravrutti is good. Getting engaged in karma is good, but it should not come at the cost of spiritual growth. This I don't know if we saw last session. Please advise the practice of these sadhanas for a grahastha like us. It seems like a tall order referring to Tapon Maharaj's Adesha. See, whenever we hear such statements, right, like Taponji Maharaj or anybody else, one thing we should keep in mind, these saints' role in our life is to wake us up. They don't have to gain anything from us. If at all they are telling something, their main goal is, how will this jiva wake up? So according to Taponji Maharaj, we calling ourselves as Brahmachari, Grahastha, Vanaprastha, that is Adhyasa. That is superimposition. This is who you are, is that pure consciousness. Seek that wholeheartedly and abide in that truth. In Bhagavad Geeta there is one verse, right? Those who are awake when everybody is asleep, one who is asleep when everybody is awake. So saying I am a grahastha, according to them, is staying asleep. And if somebody says right now I am asleep, don't wake me up. Allow me to be like this. Tell me something in my sleep what I can do better. In my dream what I can do better. They will say no, first wake up. Then you see, from that awakened state, do whatever is your duty. Don't say I want to keep sleeping and tell me something in dream what I should do. So their first priority is wake up. That is why even their scolding becomes a stotram. This is what Shankaracharya saw, that 80-year-old person doing dukrun karane. And out of compassion he scolded him. Moda mate, he said, nahi nahi rakshati, samprapte sannihite kale. But what was his main point there? That main purpose of human birth is to seek Govinda. To seek Paravidya, not only get stuck with Aparavidya. So that is the idea. But the best answer I have found for this is what Ramakrishna Paramhamsa says. He says, Grahastha-ashrama is that one hand is held to Bhagavan, another hand held to our duties. Holding on to Bhagavan with one hand, we should keep doing duties with the other hand. But prayer should be, Bhagavan, please make my duties fewer and fewer, so I can hold on to you with both hands. That is the safest and the best prayer we can do in Grahastha-ashrama. While next topic is Karma Yoga and Sadhana. While practicing Karma Yoga, how to overcome intermittent ego or proudness or arrogance that I did it, even though God and other factors are driving it. That is true. If we look at Karma Yoga closely, we will realize it's not easy even to be a Karma Yogi. Because time and again, this forgetfulness happens that the real doer is God. So what is the antidote? One antidote is, we should remember Bhagwan more. See, if there is a lamp which is lighting a room, if I walk further away from that lamp, there is darkness. So the lamp is Bhagwan's smriti, remembrance of Bhagwan. And further away I am from that smriti, to that extent is darkness. What is darkness? I am the doer. So whatever way we can get a smriti, all those ways are mangalkari. Either it is nama or it is some picture of Bhagwan. See, why do we put so many pictures of God in our home? One is our mind should be always thinking of Bhagwan. But if you have done thorough shravanam, if you have done mananam, whatever is our understanding about God, that should become available when we see that picture. There is one bhajan, right? Meri Rama ki krupa se sab kaam ho raha hai. With the grace of my Rama alone, everything in my life is happening. So whatever brings that remembrance will help me in holding on to Karma Yoga. Another thing is, whenever we see creation, we should develop the art of marveling at creation. Whenever we see some beauty, whenever we see some greatness in creation, the one who is running it is Bhagwan. So many organisms are there, so many jiva jantus are there. Everybody's food is taken care of. Just think about it. If one person was to take care of giving food to all creatures which are there, so many jiva jantus will be starving. But Bhagwan's system is such, he says, in my creation, no prakrutika yoni will go hungry. Prakrutika yoni means whatever is run by Prakriti, all the animals, whoever is there, everybody is given right food, whatever they need. So one who runs this whole creation runs everything in that creation. So more I remember it, more I will feel how small I am. Whether I am there or not, Bhagwan doesn't need us to run his world. In Shiva Mahimna Stotram, there is one verse of Tripurasura. Didakshoste koyam Tripura Truna Adambara Vidhi. That is how it ends. What Bhagwan did was he invited all devatas, Brahmaji, Indra Bhagwan, Vishnu Bhagwan, and he said, we have to go and kill Tripurasura. All of us have to work together. And all devatas, they become one part of the chariot. Somebody becomes wheel, somebody becomes the axle, somebody becomes the base of the chariot. Vishnu Bhagwan becomes the arrow. And Tripurasura had this unique boon. He used to live in 3 palaces. And only when the 3 palaces align and one arrow pierces it, then only he will be killed. So all of them make that chariot, all devatas, they make it. They go to the battlefield. Tripurasura comes. And they feel while they are coming to that battlefield, if I was not there, how would Tripurasura be killed? How would this chariot stand if I was not there? Wheel is not there, what will happen to the chariot? Then when they come and stand there, Tripurasura comes in front, Bhagwan Shiva roars. And just by his roar, all the 3 cities align, and Bhagwan Shiva's arrow pierces it, and Tripurasura is destroyed. All the devatas who was wheel, somebody was axle, somebody was the base of the chariot, they look at Lord Shiva. They say, if you could do it with a roar, why did you call us? Didakshoste koyam Tripura Truna Adambara Vidhi. What is all this paraphernalia of the one who could finish the Rakshasa with a roar? He says that is really true. Bhagwan's mind doesn't depend upon jivas. Whatever he wants, he can accomplish it without jiva's help. But he is amana himself, but gives mana to others. he does things in our life in such a way that we start feeling we did it. In Vishnu Sahasranama, what is Bhagwan's name? Amani Manado Manyaha. He is Amani, but he is Manadaha. Makes others feel in such a way, they alone have done it. But Jiva has to be careful. That is this one, how to be free from doership. As a family with so many things running with work, kids, schedule, how to make a work routine. I know what things I want to do. Puja Gurudev has one quote where he says, lot of problems and stress come in our life because we don't know the art of saying no. He says lot of stress comes in our life because we don't know the art of saying no. That doesn't mean we should say no to everything. But this person is somebody who has understood his priorities well. There are different types of karmas, right? One type of karma is called as Nitya Karma. The job that we have to do, taking care of kids, taking care of parents. That is called as Nitya Karma. That this person does without asking any questions. What will I get by doing these things? That question he doesn't ask. Nitya Karma is selflessly done. Then comes Naimittika Karma. Occasional duties. In the joys and sorrows of others, we will have to be part. Some happy occasion is there, they will call us, we have to go. There are some difficult times sometimes, we will have to go. And even if we have to let go of Nitya Karma for Naimittika Karma gets priority. Because it's not done every day, it is something which is occasional. Now comes the main part. After Nitya Naimittika, after doing the duties and occasional duties, person can end up doing Kamya Karma or he can choose to do Upasana. You see, there are different types of karmas. After Nitya Naimittika, there is a choice whether I do Kamya, desire prompted actions, or I do Upasana. My Japa, Tapa, Dhyanam, Puja, whatever I have taken up, I have a choice with that. So one who is a sadhaka, he will choose Upasana over Kamya Karma. Nishiddha Karma, of course, has to be dropped. But desire prompted actions should become fewer and fewer. Because you will see, our routine is not only filled with things which we are doing for Nitya Naimittika, means duties and occasional duties. There are a lot of Kamya Karmas also which creep in. Kamya Karma means what, even if I don't do it, I'll be still okay. I'm not doing it out of duty. I'm doing it because my mind wants to do it. Examples of Kamya Karma you can think about. So watching a movie, is it Nitya Karma or Kamya Karma? Kamya Karma. But if I watch the movie to give joy to a child who wants to go, you are not interested in going, but you still go with your child to a movie, what will you call it? Naimittika Karma. Don't go every day. Once in a while if you go, that is Naimittika Karma. It is not Kamya Karma. Not Kamya Karma. So in my day, I will have to think, where is my time going? Is it only with Nitya Naimittika or is some Kamya Karma also taking my time away? So when I have to start dropping, don't start with Nitya Karma to drop. First I have to drop Nishiddha Karma, then Kamya Karma. In that time that I have, do Upasana, and Nitya Naimittika will keep getting fewer as we transition across to further ashramas. A very well laid system it is. All right. there are few more which in the next session, if I get some time towards the end, we'll cover. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.